At 72, Pierce Brosnan finally tells the truth about Robin Williams. Pierce Brosnan was born Pierce Brendan Brosnan on May 16, 1953, in the small Irish town of Navan, County Meath. His early childhood was marked by upheaval and loneliness. His father left when Pierce was just an infant, and his mother moved to London to train as a nurse, hoping to provide a better future for her son. Young Pierce was raised largely by relatives and later by a boarding house family, circumstances that demanded self-reliance and resilience at a very early age. These formative experiences shaped a quiet determination within him, a determination that eventually carried him far beyond what anyone in his small Irish community might have imagined. When Pierce reunited with his mother in London at age 11, an entirely new world opened before him. It was there that he discovered art, film, and ultimately the craft of acting. Shy but imaginative, he developed a fascination with performance after watching a fire eater at a circus, an encounter he would later describe as having awakened something magical inside him. This fascination drew him to the world of theater, and he eventually trained at the Drama Centre London, where he quickly distinguished himself with a potent blend of natural charisma, emotional sensitivity, and classical technique. Brosnan first gained widespread attention in the early 1980s with the television series Remington Steele, in which he played a mysterious debonair con-man-turned-detective. The role showcased his effortless charm, good looks, and comedic timing, establishing him as an international star long before he ever stepped into the tuxedo of James Bond. For many fans, Brosnan's portrayal of Steele became the template for the modern gentleman hero, witty, elegant, and irresistibly captivating. Yet, it was in 1995 that Pierce Brosnan ascended to global superstardom when he became the fifth actor to portray James Bond, debuting in GoldenEye. His interpretation of 007 was defined by sophistication and sleek confidence, but with a deeper emotional undercurrent that resonated with a new generation. Brosnan's Bond was polished and lethal, but also human, capable of vulnerability beneath the immaculate exterior. He went on to star in Tomorrow Never Dies, 1997, The World Is Not Enough, 1999, and Die Another Day, 2002, each film solidifying his legacy as one of the franchise's most iconic and influential leads. His era re-energized the Bond series, introducing it to audiences who would come to see him as their definitive embodiment of Ian Fleming's legendary spy. Outside of Bond, Brosnan's film career blossomed with remarkable diversity. He showed a fearless willingness to experiment with genre, delivering powerfully understated dramatic performances in films like The Ghostwriter and The Matador, embracing romantic roles in The Thomas Crown Affair, and even surprising audiences with his musical turn in the hit film Mamma Mia. His range revealed an artist who refused to be confined by any single image or expectation, an actor who approached every role with dedication, nuance, and a desire to grow. In 2021, Pierce Brosnan once again demonstrated his enduring versatility and star power when he both executive produced and headlined the high-energy heist adventure The Misfits, an ambitious caper directed by action veteran Rennie Harlin from a screenplay by Robert Henry and Kurt Wimmer. Although the film ultimately received a lukewarm response from critics, Brosnan's charismatic performance, as always, proved to be one of its most memorable highlights. That same year, he showcased a completely different side of his talent in A24's unsettling horror film, False Positive, appearing opposite Ilana Glazer, who also co-wrote and co-produced the project. The eerie thriller earned attention for its bold themes and suspenseful atmosphere, and Brosnan's chilling, controlled performance helped the film achieve moderate success and spark conversations among audiences. Brosnan's career momentum only accelerated as he stepped into one of the most visually striking and fan-anticipated roles of his later career. The mystical and enigmatic Dr. Fate, Kent Nelson, in the 2022 DC Extended Universe blockbuster Black Adam. Portraying the powerful sorcerer alongside Dwayne Johnson, Brosnan infused the character with gravitas, wisdom, and emotional depth, quickly becoming one of the film's standout elements. Riding this wave of renewed attention, he then joined comedian Adam Devine in Netflix's 2023 action comedy The Outlaws, directed by Tyler Spindle. The film allowed Brosnan to lean into his comedic timing while still delivering the charm and elegance that have defined his decades-long career. Also, in 2023, Brosnan embraced a majestic historical role as King Louis XIV in The King's Daughter, a whimsical family adventure adapted from Vonda N. McIntyre's acclaimed 1997 novel, The Moon and the Sun. His portrayal of the legendary French monarch brought a mixture of regality and emotional nuance to the fantastical tale, further reinforcing his status as an actor capable of effortlessly traversing genres. That same year, Brosnan took a darker turn, leading the gritty hitman thriller Fast Charlie, directed by acclaimed filmmaker Philip Noyce. In this tense, character-driven story, he delivered one of his strongest dramatic performances of the decade, captivating audiences with a blend of world-weary toughness and quiet vulnerability. Brosnan continued to keep fans intrigued with new projects, and in 2025 he appeared as Ron in the highly anticipated film adaptation of the best-selling mystery novel The Thursday Murder Club. His involvement in the project added excitement for readers and moviegoers alike, cementing his reputation as an actor who remains as relevant, compelling, and in demand as ever. Pierce Brosnan's personal life has been profoundly shaped by the two women he married, each of whom left a lasting and defining imprint on his journey as a man, a father, and an artist. His first marriage was to the radiant and talented Australian actress Cassandra Harris, whom he wed in 1980. Cassandra was not only a gifted performer with a blossoming career, but also a woman of extraordinary grace, warmth, and charisma. When Brosnan met her, he was a young actor still trying to find stability and direction in both his professional and personal life, and Cassandra became the anchor that helped ground him. She was already a mother of two children, Charlotte and Christopher, from a previous relationship, and Brosnan embraced them with boundless affection, eventually adopting both and raising them as his own. Cassandra had a powerful influence on Brosnan's acting career as well. She was connected to the world of cinema in ways that helped him enter higher-profile circles, and it was through her that he was first introduced to the James Bond universe, long before he ever stepped into the iconic role. Their marriage was marked by deep devotion, mutual admiration, and a strong emotional bond. Brosnan often spoke of Cassandra as the love of his life, someone whose intelligence, artistic spirit, and sense of humor made every day vivid and meaningful. Their happiness, however, was tragically overshadowed when Cassandra was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, a devastating illness that slowly consumed her strength over several painful years. Brosnan stood by her side through every stage of her battle, providing care, hope, and unwavering support as he watched the woman he adored endure unimaginable suffering. When she passed away in 1991, the loss shattered him to the core. Her death left an unfillable void and created one of the darkest chapters of his life. He would later speak about how Cassandra's courage and grace in the face of mortality changed him forever, shaping his sense of responsibility, resilience, and compassion. Even decades after her passing, he continues to honor her memory, describing her as the person who profoundly transformed his life and heart. A decade after Cassandra's death, Pierce Brosnan found love again in a way he had not expected when he met the American journalist, author, and environmental activist Keely Shea Smith. The two connected almost instantly, discovering in each other a shared appreciation for nature, family, and meaningful living. Keely brought a refreshing sense of optimism and groundedness into Brosnan's life, offering him emotional warmth and stability during a time when he was still healing from past sorrow. Over the years, their relationship blossomed into a deeply affectionate and enduring partnership. They married in 2001 in a beautiful ceremony in Ireland, a place that holds special meaning for Brosnan, symbolizing both his heritage and his hope for a new beginning. Together, Pierce and Keeley built a life centered on family, creativity, and activism. They welcomed two sons, Dylan and Paris, whom they raised with immense love and a strong awareness of global and environmental issues, values that both parents passionately champion. Keeley's presence brought lightness and steady joy into Brosnan's world, encouraging him to embrace life fully again. Their marriage has often been admired for its tenderness, authenticity, and mutual respect. Brosnan frequently praises Keeley publicly, expressing gratitude for her kindness, strength, and unwavering support. Even after decades together, he speaks of her with great affection, often describing her as his true partner, best friend, and the woman who restored his belief in happiness after unimaginable loss. At 72, Pierce Brosnan finally felt ready to speak openly about the joy, heartbreak, and profound respect he carried for his friend and former co-star, Robin Williams. Their unforgettable collaboration on Mrs. Doubtfire in 1993 had not only cemented a place in cinematic history, but also left Brosnan with memories that continued to shape him decades later. As he looked back on those moments, Brosnan revealed the emotional truth behind their bond, offering rare insight into a man the world adored but never fully understood. "Robin was pure lightning," he said. "You didn't just watch him, you felt him. He filled the room with a kind of magic that no one else could ever duplicate." Brosnan recalled how Williams, even in the middle of complex scenes, could shift from razor-sharp comedic improvisation to deeply humane sincerity. "You'd be standing 3 feet away watching him transform," Brosnan explained. "It was like witnessing a miracle. He never performed for you. He shared something with you, something that came straight from his heart." Though the movie was a comedy, Brosnan remembered that Williams brought a vulnerability to the role that made the story resonate across generations. "He understood pain," he said softly. "And he used that understanding to make people laugh, because laughter was his way of healing the world." Brosnan also spoke candidly about the way Williams treated everyone on set, from the crew to visiting families to the youngest child actor. "He had no ego," Brosnan insisted. "None. He could be the biggest star on the planet and still stop to tie a kid's shoelace or sit and chat with a lighting technician having a rough day. Robin made you feel seen. He made you feel important." That humility, Brosnan emphasized, was the true measure of Williams's greatness. Yet behind the brilliance and warmth, Brosnan now understood there was a quiet ache Robin carried with him. Though Brosnan was careful not to claim knowledge of Williams's private struggles, he acknowledged having sensed a depth in him that felt too vast for this world. He recalled moments during filming when Williams would drift into silence after unleashing a storm of laughter. "There was a gentleness in those quiet moments," Brosnan said. "A kind of sadness, but also a profound kindness. Robin gave so much of himself. Sometimes I think he gave more than he had." When news of Williams's passing broke in 2014, Brosnan said he felt a shock that pierced him to his core. "I sat there, unable to move," he remembered. "It felt like the lights had gone out in a part of the world. You don't expect someone who brings that much joy to be suffering so deeply." He reflected on the global grief that followed, an outpouring of love that, to him, was proof of Williams's enduring legacy. "Robin didn't just make us laugh," he said. "He made us feel alive. He made us feel connected." Now, decades after their time on Mrs. Doubtfire, Brosnan speaks of Williams with both gratitude and longing. He cherishes the memories of chaotic filming days, of improvised lines that made everyone break character, of Robin appearing in full Mrs. Doubtfire costume just to brighten someone's morning. "He taught me generosity," Brosnan said. He taught me that kindness is the greatest form of artistry. As he reflects at 72, Brosnan hopes people will remember Williams not only for his genius, but for his heart. "The truth is," he said, "Robin Williams was one of the finest men I ever knew, and the world was better, immeasurably better, because he lived."